people have been really, really high on Sam Womack. And, Womack looked good in his rookie season. He just came in. He was playing well. He was creating turnovers in the secondary. He was flashing. And I could see why people got really excited about Sam Womack. And he looked like a guy that could play the nickel position, change of direction, good speed, able to get his hands in there for pass breakups, could drive on the football. He had fluid hips. It was looking good. And they started him. And as a rookie, the fact that they started him right off the bat was a little surprising. That's not the norm for the 49ers to start a rookie that's not named Nick Bosa. And he got the start, and he went in there, and he played good in coverage. But in run fits, he absolutely struggled. And it was by week 2, 49ers were ready to move on from Sam Womack, and they went to Deommodore Lenoir. And Lenoir had been thought to be a disappointment before this happened. Lenoir stepped in. Lenoir played well. And he played real well. He helped in the run fits. He got physical at the line of scrimmage. And the 49ers felt like they had their nickel corner of the future. And then fate happened. Emmanuel Mosley goes down with a knee injury. He's out for the year, even though he was playing fantastic. And Deommodore Lenoir moved to the outside. Well, when that happened, you would think, that opens the door for Sam Womack to go back in. He's going to play better. He's going to understand he needed to be better. But he never went back to the nickel role. Those 2 games were all they needed to see from Samuel Womack. And they haven't been willing to put him back at the nickel, which makes it difficult. He becomes an Ambry Thomas style of player playing on the outside. Here's the problem for Womack. I don't think he's ever looked as good playing on the outside as he did when he played on the inside in coverage, which is a problem because you can't pass Ambry Thomas. How are you going to pass the other guys if they're potentially ahead of him? So this is Sam Womack's on the bubble. His back's against the wall the same way Ambry Thomas is. And right now, he doesn't have position versatility to help him be able to move in. When you look at last year and how that season ended for Sam Womack, it ended with him being on the inactive list. This is a really, really good special teams player. The way that Ambry's not a great special teams player, Womack is. Womack's a really good special teams player. So the fact they left him off the postseason roster and didn't play him in games, and he's that good at special teams, displays how uncomfortable they were with him at cornerback. And he's still got a chance to compete. He's still got a chance to go in there and prove he's a dog and show the things that we really liked when he was a rookie. But him and Ambry Thomas are on notice. 49ers have drafted cornerbacks in every single draft. Well, this year, they got a guy early. Normally, 3rd round and beyond. This year, Renardo Green, 2nd round. And it was as close as you can get to the 3rd round as possible, the last pick of the 3rd round. But that's an investment. So, Sam Womack was in Renardo Green's shoes a couple years ago, and he wasn't able to live up to expectations. Renardo Green is a little bit of a different player when it comes to physicality. So, Womack and Ambry Thomas, they're on the bubble. There's good players ahead of them. There's young players. The 49ers want to see what they got. And one of those young players is Darell Luter Jr. And I had to put Luter Jr. on the bubble. I didn't really want to put him on the bubble. I think the 49ers showed some confidence in him in special teams, confidence to roll with him in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. He's got length. He's got size. He shows physicality. We haven't really seen him a whole lot in coverage. And that's my concern, is what are you going to get from Darell Luter Jr.? The thing is, you know what you got with Ambry Thomas. You know what you got with Samuel Womack. But with Darell Luter Jr., you just don't know. There's not enough NFL film on him. There's not enough of him playing NFL football to have a really good idea of whether he's going to be impactful for the 49ers. But he does have one thing going for him. Ambry Thomas is in the last year of his deal. Sam Womack has 2 years left on his deal. Darell Luter Jr. has 3. As far as control and cheap control of a 5th-round pick, that's pretty enticing. So the 49ers might keep him as a flyer just because they believe he can still develop. That might be something that helps Darell Luter Jr. Now, Luter Jr. was up and down in special teams. He had a time where he absolutely ran down D. Eskridge in the game against Seattle and saved a touchdown. That was fantastic. But then he also had a ball go off his leg in the Super Bowl that caused a turnover. So it was hit and miss for Darell Luter Jr. So those three guys are on the bubble as far as the cornerback position. I said right now, I give the advantage to making the team to Darell Luter Jr. for the mere fact that I think that Isaac Yedem is ahead of him. And if Yedem's ahead of him, you might start keeping a guy that has more upside, that you have more control over contractually, because Ambry Thomas is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Maybe you do go ahead and move on. Maybe you try to trade him during training camp for a late round pick. It's going to be interesting. And with Womack, we need to see the rookie Womack, the guy that was flying around making plays in the secondary. He needs to get his hands on the football all through training camp in the preseason. But also, he needs to show physicality. He needs to come up and light people up in the run game. And it's not like he's not a physical guy. He is. He plays physical. He hits hard. He tackles pretty good. But for whatever reason, when he gets in run fits, it's just not as good. So those three guys on the bubble, they're at the cornerback position.